What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Shooting the Sith. I am your host, Robert Slavinsky, and make sure you follow me on the Twitters at Bridge Geekdoms, where you're going to find all the cool stuff that I post about. So, welcome to Bridging to Geekdoms, Shooting the Sith. Man, I gotta fix my overlays here. There's some things that I really need to take care of. I made these overlays whenever I first discovered StreamYard, and since then, if you check out my Bridging to Geekdoms, you can see my overlays are getting a lot better, so I definitely need to fix that. But let's get into it here. So today's episode is Star Wars Doesn't Need Rey. Wait, what? Star Wars doesn't need Rey? No, Star Wars doesn't need Rey, and it's better off without Rey. And we're going to get into that here. And I know this is very controversial because there's so much that the sequel trilogy gave us that is good, that's interesting, that's fun. But realistically, we don't need Rey. We don't need Rey from that. There's a lot of talk and desire to retcon, remove, destroy the sequel trilogy. I'm not in that belief that we need to get rid of the sequel trilogy. I'm not in that belief that says, you know what, the sequel trilogy sucked, we got to get rid of it. No, I'm not there. Do I prefer the original and prequel trilogy to the sequels? Absolutely. But there's a lot from the sequel trilogy that I really enjoyed, and I would love to see continue on in some form or fashion. However, that does mean Rey needs to be removed. What? Whoa. All right. So what do I mean? Star Wars doesn't need Rey. We're in a time of political correctness and the inclusion of everybody. I understand that. I'm not here to talk politics. I'm not here to discuss what we should or shouldn't do when it comes to inclusion, exclusion, all that jazz. But what I do want to discuss and talk about is something that people seem to overlook and forget when it comes to Star Wars. Star Wars has always been inclusive. Take a look at 1977 and A New Hope in Star Wars. Take a look at that movie for a second. We had Carrie Fisher, a not very well-known actress at the time. Carrie Fisher played what many consider to be, for a period of time, one of the strongest female characters in film. Now, she didn't do that by just coming onto set and being like, we need a strong female. George Lucas wrote her that way. She wasn't just some princess in distress. She had purpose. She had a mission. She talked back to the villain, and not in a way that you would sit there and say, oh, it's just a woman talking back. No, she had a purpose. She had a reason, and it was fantastic. I loved it. Jump up to 1999. The Phantom Menace. Yeah, Padme Amidala. Queen Amidala. Queen, mind you. Another very strong female character. Had purpose. Had a great story. And you take a look at those two characters there. And those aren't the only two, but I'm going to touch on these two right now. Their story had purpose, meaning. It fit the overall narrative of the story. Nothing was shoehorned in. They had a reason from point A to point B. Now we jump to the sequels. Rey. Palpatine Skywalker? Yeah, what is she? She had so much potential. So much potential in Star Wars Episode 7. I remember seeing the trailer for Episode 7, sitting there and like, who is she? Who are you? And you see the parallels of Luke and Anakin. I see what they're doing with her. JJ decided to do the mystery box idea with Star Wars. Now, mind you, the mystery box works for some things. I was excited to see Star Wars go in that route because they could have utilized the mystery box concept and stayed with the secular and poetic and parallel nature that Star Wars was built off of with George Lucas. So I was all for it. I was like, let's go for it. Let's see what JJ can bring. He had a plan for Rey. Was it a Palpatine? Was it Skywalker? I don't think they truly knew at that moment. I think that's something that they ultimately were kind of undecided on. But I think JJ had enough of an idea to say, look, we put these hints, these little tidbits into the movie, and we can build off of them. Come episode 8, you get rid of all that. All of it gone. Just Han looking at her like a father or uncle would, just being ashamed that he knows that they did her wrong. Leia's embrace. All of that. There's two major moments in that movie. Not to mention Kylo and Snoke knowing they knew who she was. What girl? Yeah, like they set it up for her to have been as somebody, to have been known. Last Jedi comes out and they kind of get away from all of that. She's a nobody. Nobody knows her. She just came out of nowhere. Okay. I get why people like that story idea. I'm not saying that it isn't something that Star Wars should explore. This, though, is the Skywalker trilogy. Or trilogy, saga, mind you, saga. This is the Skywalker saga. It's about the Skywalkers. It's not about nobodies. They have the opportunity with all of this crap that they're doing, all of this plus more, they have the opportunity to say, you know what? We're going to make this a nobody over here. So they went the route with a nobody being Rey in episode 8. Jump up to episode 9. You know what? Let's retcon that. She was a Palpatine the whole time. Look, I predicted back in 2017 or 2018, something like that. I predicted she's going to be a Palpatine. And actually, there's a podcast. I shared it around a bunch after The Rise of Skywalker came out. Look, guys, I predicted this. They screwed up. Okay? But why does Star Wars not need Rey? Well, one, her story is a mess. Absolute mess. Like I just said, going somewhere up, we're going to go over here. Oh, wait, we're back over here. She's not a well-written character. There's nothing about her that is intriguing. There's nothing about her that makes me want to know what's going to happen, what she's going to do next. So to me, Rey is not needed. Let's also discuss Daisy Ridley. Daisy Ridley is not a good actress. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of Daisy Ridley. I think she did okay in The Force Awakens. Mediocre in The Last Jedi and pretty abysmal in The Rise of Skywalker. So having an actress that isn't very good at her trade, at what she does, portraying a character that has been poorly written, that has no place in Star Wars because they never solidify her place. Oh, but she killed Palpatine. No. She is all the Jedi. All the Jedi killed Palpatine in that movie. Yeah. And then she died. She died. She did. There's doornail. Wasn't until Ben gave his life force over to her that she survives and or comes back to life and lives. We're not going to get into all that, though, because Star Wars doesn't need Rey. I'd like to see a continuation of the Skywalker saga. I wouldn't mind if, say, 5-10 years from now, which I think they're going to do, Episode 10 coming to a theater near you. Oh, man. What's that going to be about? It's going to take place 20 years, 10 years, 15 years after the events of The Rise of Skywalker. And they're going to get a new batch of heroes to move forward. But Rey. Yeah, unfortunately, Rey is there. Get a new actress. Have him play like an Obi-Wan role for one movie. Pops in. Sends our heroes on a mission. And that's that. Rey just isn't needed. There's nothing about her that is intriguing, that is must watch or needed. Not to mention that if you want to sit there and say, oh, but we need powerful women in Star Wars. I'm sorry. And look, yes, I'm a straight white male talking about how we don't need another powerful woman in Star Wars. Here's the thing. She's not a powerful woman. She's not. She's a poor example for that. I told everybody, look, this is a controversial topic. I knew it was going to be. If you even made it this far into my show, I told you it was going to be controversial. I warned everybody on the twits whenever I promoted this out. It's a controversial topic. I know it is. You could come at me in the comments. You could dislike this all you want, but it's fact. It's true. We have characters like Leia Organa, Padme Amidala, Ahsoka Tano. 3, you got Hera Syndulla. 4, you have Jyn Erso. 5. There's so many strong female characters in Star Wars already that they could just build off of and make so much more. Now, here's the thing. Had the sequel trilogy done better, had they got a better actress, or even if they kept Daisy Ridley, but wrote the character better, if they made her have a reason for being part of the story that wasn't just shoehorned in at the last second because they were retconning what happened in the previous movie because that movie retconned what happened in the movie before that, had they actually done their job in creating a strong character, a character worth caring for, this would not be a discussion. But it should be. These are the kind of discussions that Lucasfilm needs to hear. They need to see. They need to understand. My daughter, I have a 7-year-old daughter. She's not a big Star Wars fan. She will watch the movies with Dad because, hey, it's spending time with Daddy. I get that. But every single time I turn them on, she'd run and get her Rey Barbie doll. She loves Rey. Yes, I get it. Who doesn't want to see someone that looks like them, somebody that is their gender, their race, their color, their what have you on screen in a heroic role? Everybody wants to see that. And I'm not going to say that Rey wasn't portrayed as a heroic figure in Star Wars, which is a great symbol for little girls to see. I completely understand it. I get that. But it was done poorly. I know. What do I know? What do I know? Well, being that I've been watching Star Wars, reading Star Wars for the better part of 35 years, I think I understand what Star Wars is supposed to be. This Ahsoka. We have an Ahsoka show coming. They're starting to understand the Acolyte, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is going to focus heavily on a female protagonist or antagonist. You know they can build. I am going to watch both of those shows. This has nothing to do with, they made a female character the main character in the sequels. As I said, good writing, strong character development, a good actress. I'm all for it. Rey isn't needed. And there's been a call I've seen lately that people want to see more Rey and things. And whether it's Daisy Ridley or not, Rey just isn't good. Now, they can fix the character. They can retcon it, as you say, and making her a better character for the Star Wars universe. The thing that just really aggravates me is just how they made her a Skywalker or a Palpatine or whatever you have. They needed to stick to one route and go that way. As much as I didn't like the idea of her being a nobody, they should have stuck to it. They didn't. They changed it where she was a Palpatine and then she takes on the moniker of a Skywalker. Okay. They did that for a couple reasons. One, it kind of leaves the door open for when they want to make more movies down the line in the Skywalker saga, despite them saying the final chapter in the Skywalker saga. How many times have we heard that from George Lucas? So that left the door open. So, we can bring the Skywalkers back because look, she's a Skywalker now, right? Right. They also did it because they did not have a solid story for her. They're like, this is the Skywalker saga. All the Skywalkers are dead. What do we do? That is why they did it. They even are acknowledging it themselves without telling you they're acknowledging it because they're trying to fix their mistakes in the movie. They're like, look, we screwed up with her. She's supposed to be this badass main character, and she turned out to be a pretty lame-ass character. What is going to make her cool again? Oh, make her a Skywalker now. Yeah. I love Star Wars. You all know that. I'm willing to debate anybody on this topic. Star Wars doesn't need Rey. Not at all. Never again. They could do 10, 11, 12 without Rey. They never even need to mention Rey again. Hell, give me an episode 10 that focuses on Broom Boy. I was actually sitting there talking with Colton a few months back, and we were sitting there discussing, like, what would be a good episode 10? Have Broom Boy be the main character or the main antagonist. Have Finn the main character. Give him his due. I want Finn to have his due. He could have been such an amazing character. But make Broom Boy the big bad in it. How cool would it be? Spitballing here. So at the end of The Last Jedi, you see him, the Broom Boy, gotcha. Between Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, Kylo finds him and takes him under his wing and begins training him for that 2 years of time between then. Takes him to Mustafar, takes him somewhere. I don't know where. Takes him somewhere, starts training him. Obviously, Kylo goes off on his own mission to find the Wayfinder, what have you, all that jazz. What if Broom Boy, this jumps up like 5-10 years, Broom Boy's older, and he's trying to investigate and find what happened to his master, Kylo Ren. He has no idea that he turned to the light. So all he knows and believes is that he was killed on Exegol by Rey or Finn or whomever, and have it build off of that. I think that would be amazing. I think that would be so cool to see happen. You just build from there. You have a new antagonist spinning off from Kylo Ren, creating a new Sith Order or new dark side users. That's just mine. I'm spitballing. But getting back to point, we don't need Rey. We really don't need Rey at this point, and I'm over it. I'm done with Rey. I really am. But let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know, do we need Rey? Do we not need Rey? What is the significance of Rey? Why is she important to Star Wars? Is she important? Was she important to the overall story? Should she have been important to the overall story? Throw all that information down in the comments below. make sure you like this video, smash that like button, hit subscribe, all that jazz. Follow me on the Twits, follow me on the Facebooks, head to spoilerverse.com, all that jazz. But with all that said, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think. It's a very controversial issue, I know, but I just want to know what you guys think. So let me know. I will talk to all of you later.